This video contains spoilers for Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days, but will hopefully not cover any of the other games, so if you have played Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days, or have at least watched the cutscenes for the game, enjoy the video. Imagine being someone who was never meant to exist. Your peers treat you as a useless pawn, and the only reason you do exist is for one purpose and one purpose alone. Now, while I would like to do a full in-depth analysis on this character and her many interactions, I personally would like to rather explain some of the things that people get confused about her character. For example, why does her face change? Xion was created by the organization in the early days of its conception as a way to double the efforts of Roxas, gathering hearts with the power of the Keyblade. At first her face is obscured, and I firmly believe it is because nobody could perceive what she looks like until Roxas finally does. We know this because from the eyes of different people, Xion looks differently. To people like Sykes, her face remains hidden under her coat because they have no desire to give her much as the time of day, even imagine what she would look like. She is nothing but a pawn. To people such as Xigbar, she appears as Ventus because of the look in her eyes reminding him of that time the two interacted in Birth by Sleep, as well as her heart being connected to Sora's, which in turn connects her to Ventus. I know that's pretty complex, but just try to keep up. Finally, she has her own appearance. This face is the one we see her use the most because it is through the eyes of her friends Roxas and Axel. I did read somewhere that Axel actually used to see her looking like Naminé, which is a little bit confusing again, but that's for a whole different video. Eventually, she starts to look like a young Sora, and this is due to Sora's memories fully taking form within her. So when you boil it down, it can really be hard to pinpoint exactly what causes these face changes, but everything I've just said is what I personally believe. So going back to the Keyblade, why can she and Roxas simultaneously wield the Kingdom Key? She can wield the Keyblade for the same reason Roxas can wield two at the same time at the end of the game. Xion and Roxas both have pieces of Sora's memory, which is why they both must cease to exist for him to be whole again. Sora at this point in time has Ventus and his own heart within him, which is why Roxas looks like Ventus, and Xion eventually looks like Sora. Having two hearts means that you could have potentially two Keyblades, and so both Roxas and Xion can use it simultaneously. And what is up with those changes of form during her final fight? Xion takes on what I imagine Sora's Keyblade armor would look like during the final battle, but goes through a couple of different stages during this fight. Each of her forms resemble boss fights we've had previously before this game. Her first one kind of reminds me of Ruler of the Sky, and that's a little bit vague, but her second one is very obviously a homage to Leechgrave, even taking place in the same spot that you fought the Gargantuan Heartless, and the third form is a little bit more tricky. I initially thought it could be a reference to Antlion, but the more I thought about it, it honestly looks more like Kurt Ziza, the secret boss from Kingdom Hearts 1. The reason for all these form changes is due to the receptors placed in Agrabah, Halloween Town, and Wonderland by the organization, which gradually feed more of Sora's memories into Xion, making her stronger as the fight continues, resulting in her gigantic final form, towering over Twilight's Town Station Plaza. After triumphantly beating this challenging boss fight and feeling pretty good about yourself for doing so, you are immediately shattered as you remember who it was you were fighting, or perhaps who you were forgetting. If you are a recent Kingdom Hearts fan, there's a chance you experience the story of 358 over 2 days through the cutscenes only via the 1.5 collection, and while that's not a terrible option if you don't own a DS, it's not the same. You miss out on so many key bonding moments throughout the series that makes these characters more fulfilling and fleshed out. Xion is one of those characters. To this day, no video game cutscene has made me tear up quite like this. All the times we were experiencing these little moments with the characters on missions, the times they joked and laughed as if they really had hearts, were all lost back in the 2009 release of this game. The HD cutscenes are beautiful and really make a lot of the most important moments stand out, but it's the dumb little stuff that makes this story worth it. It makes it my favorite. Xion is less of a hollowed out, boring character that not many people can relate to when you see her go through all this harsh treatment of being treated as a puppet to her own person. These days spent eating ice cream with her friends, it's all just wonderful. What makes this death the absolute worst is that even after all the time we've spent with this character, when she fades away, nobody will remember her. Not even Roxas after some time. Her face, her very being, is just erased from existence. Whoa, that's terrifying to me. Her death is obviously made pretty cheesy with his famous line, "Who else will I have ice cream with?" delivered by Roxas. But is it really that cheesy? To Roxas, Axel, and Xion, eating ice cream together was the only symbol of friendship they have ever known. So say what you want, but damn it, I love all of those scenes of them together on that clock town after every single mission. It makes the characters feel more real to me. Just for some closing thoughts, I see Xion as someone I initially really only saw as a Kairi lookalike, and when I say that, I figured right from the start that she must be Kairi's nobody, making this game sort of a reverse of Rebirth of Kingdom Hearts 2. I wasn't exactly sure, but when we finally begin to understand where she's from and how tragic her situation truly is, it got me to appreciate her all the more, and now she's my favorite female lead in the entire series. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys want more videos like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button, like, and tell me in the comments below, because I would love to do another one like this for other characters within the franchise. As always, I've been Key, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.